All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar. My name is Anna Bierman. I am a realtor and a mentor for Texas United Realty and United Real Estate. I am going to share my screen, and we are going to do a very quick event tonight. I'm feeling under the weather, and I'm fading fast. So we're going to kind of get this pretty quickly for you. I'm going to share my screen of 105 ways to generate leads, as well as I'm going to give you a little bonus at the end. Please feel free to screenshot, share, whatever you want to do. Can everybody see this list? Okay. I went ahead and broke it down on another page. So I've got a couple different pages here for you to see. I went ahead and broke it down so that you could see it a little more clearly, but please feel free to screenshot this. I'm not going to go through all of these with you tonight. You can pretty much read them yourselves. But this is a great list and a great tool. I'm going to give it just another minute here, and then I'm going to go on to page 2. But I wanted you to be able to screenshot this list so that you can go back, and I challenge each of you to start from item number 1. We do this in my mentor group. So we meet every week, or we, talk or we do Zoom or whatever, but we try to meet in person almost every week that we can. We call it Coffee Club, and we get together on Tuesdays. And usually when I meet them, I'll bring these items with me and I give it to them. I put it in their hands and send them home with it, but we talk about it. So like on our last meeting, we kind of went through items 1 through 10. Open houses, floor duty, which is property duty for you guys back in the day when that really used to be prevalent. Door knocking, pop buys, direct mail, newsletters, e-newsletters, phone calls, face-to-face, handwritten notes. We've actually done handwritten notes together as a group. So what this means is you just want to take each item one by one. For example, we'll say floor duty. If we don't have floor duty or property duty, then what we do is we kind of think outside the box. We don't skip number 2. We figure out how we can do that. Make yourself present. Go up to the office, talk to Amy, talk to Carol, talk to the ladies that do the corporate relocation. Show up, be present, talk to other people and ask them, can I come work in your office? Do you ever get leads that you need to pass off to other realtors? Go to builders, whatever. Find yourself a floor duty, property duty. Think outside the box. So that's what I'm challenging you to do for every single one. Let's look at number 13, client appreciation party. I have had new agents say, okay, I've been in the business for a year and I have about 5 or 6 or 7 clients that I would like to do a client appreciation party, because I do think that would go a long way. And I do think that would add value to me keeping that relationship strong. But how do I do that? I'm still new to the business. I don't have a lot of money. What's the best way to do that? You know what? Go talk to your friendly builders. Go talk to your friendly builders and say, would you like me to showcase one of your beautiful model homes? Will you allow me to have a client appreciation party? Have a meeting with them face to face. Give them the expectations. Let them know, I'd like to do it on this date or this date, from this time to this time. These are the snacks I'm going to have. This is the drinks I'm going to have. These are the things I'm going to have. Are you on board with that? You can even come. I'd like to appreciate you too. You can come talk to everybody, blah, blah, blah. So there are ways that you can do that where you're not out of pocket. Okay, so let's go on to page 2. So here are items 64 through 105. Can you guys see that okay? Items 64 to 105. I want you to screenshot, share these, whatever. And again, I am challenging you guys to just take this and knock them out one by one by one. There are going to be things that you're not comfortable doing, okay? Like number 70, give your business card to your waitress when you go out to eat and make sure you tip well. Okay, do you know how many times, and as a mentor, I talk to a lot of realtors, okay, not just with our brokerage, but with many others. Do you know how many times I run into realtors that do not have their cards on them? Oh my. We're real estate professionals. We own a real estate business. What do you do for a living? I own a real estate business. Okay, so why do you not have business cards? We're independent contractors, so guess what? We own a real estate business. So why do we not have business cards on us? So make sure you always have business cards on you. But what if you're not comfortable doing that? Well, you need to practice, and you can do that because you know why? Our main job, our number one priority is to have conversations and talk to people. If we're not comfortable doing that, then we need to practice, right? So let's find situations where we can go out and we can practice. And maybe we say, you know what? I'm going to go out 3 times this week. I'm going to go have coffee, meet somebody for lunch. I'm going to do kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to maybe go to dinner with blah, blah, blah. And my goal is to talk to the person that's waiting on me, whoever's checking me out, whatever. And I'm going to make sure that I give them my business card, and I'm going to ask them, who do they know that's looking to buy real estate? Right? So there are ways that you can continue to do that. So just take these items, and if you're not comfortable with it, find a way to make it work for you. We are all different. We all have our own ways that we handle things. So find what works for you. And you know what? If you don't have a mentor and you're not quite sure how to make something work, you can absolutely always reach out to me or any of the other mentors and just ask them, just say, hey, I'm struggling, I'm trying to do this thing, tell them what the thing is, and I'm really not comfortable with it. Here's my personality. How can I make this work for me? We're here to help you, and I bet you we could help you find a way to make it work for you. Also, you're going to be talking to other realtors, and if you don't do that, I highly encourage you to do that because we need to be building business amongst each other, right? And we're going to talk about that on page 3 here in just a minute, right? Buy lunch, not leads. We're all going to eat lunch, right? And we want to focus on the existing relationships. This is where you can really cultivate keeping those relationships alive. Build the relationships, then start nurturing them. Meet somebody for coffee, take them to lunch. But staying checked in closely helps generate referrals, right? So that's a very, very good way to do. I have agents tell me all the time, I don't want to spend money on leads. I don't want to buy leads. I don't want to pay, all this ungodly amount of money every year to pay for leads. Okay, well then don't buy leads, buy lunch. Take those existing relationships and keep that going. Face to face is where the magic happens. It's always where the magic happens. We can do Zoom, we can talk to each other, but face to face is always where the magic happens. Op City, if you guys don't know about Op City, this is a great program that you can get connected with through our brokerage. There's no upfront cost. I call them test leads, okay? Because you're gonna get some leads that are not super great from the beginning, but they want to see how you're going to work with the leads. They want to see how quickly you process them. They want to make sure that you're, being consistent. Using buyers' needs. What do we mean by that? Well, let's say you have a buyer and they're wanting a specific area, specific neighborhood. Contact that area's homeowners, right? You can contact the area's homeowners and you can tell them, hi, this is so and so. Introduce yourself and say, I'm working with a pre-approved buyer who really, really loves your neighborhood, wants to move to your neighborhood, and I'm doing everything I can to get them settled into your neighborhood that they really love. And we've seen everything on the market. Would you or someone that you know that lives in the neighborhood be willing to sell your home? And you can start that conversation. You would be surprised how far that goes, because number one, the homeowner, they're not really at that point looking at you as a cold call or, somebody who's spamming them or whatever. They're looking at you as, wow, this agent said the right thing. What they said was, I'm doing everything I can to help get my buyer settled into this neighborhood that they love. So you've complimented their neighborhood because they live there. You've told them what a great agent you are because you're doing everything you can to help your client. And you're making a contact with them. If they're not wanting to sell right then, they may be wanting to sell in the future. You can stay in contact with them because now that you've made that conversation, you can now send them what? You can send them something handwritten, send it in the mail. Hey, Mr. Jones, it was really great speaking to you the other day. Thank you so much. We're going to keep looking for a great home in this lovely neighborhood. And, you know, if anything changes, please let me know. Here's my card. I'm going to include my card, right? So you want to always make sure you do handwritten cards, handwritten notes go a long, long, long way. Use every opportunity you can to do them. Airbnb hosts. I mean, I don't know if you guys really look too much into that, but you can check in with them to see if they have any plans to sell in the near future, or if they may be interested in having you locate some other Airbnb options. They might be wanting to grow their portfolio, and you're just the agent that can help them do it. So, you know, that's a great contact to make because you can then add them to your database, and you never know. You might be making a contact where you can help them buy something. They might want to use you to rent something, you know, to do a rental listing, find them a tenant. They might want to sell something, you know, so there's a lot of different ways that you can use because their contact information is on that Airbnb stuff, just like a lot of the for lease by owners and things like that. Lead attraction versus lead generation. There really is a difference, okay? Lead attraction and lead generation, you know, lead generation is power in numbers, right? So numbers, 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 call, call, call. I guarantee you, like we used to do back in the day, you get up every morning and you have your calling station there and you start making 30, 40, 50, 60 calls a day. And yes, it can be done because we did it. We used to make 70 to 100 calls a day. It happened. You will have more business than you know what to do with. But are you willing to do that? Okay, so if you don't have time or that's not something that you really want to do, well, you can break it up. We still have to have those conversations, right? We talked about that. That's the number one priority is to have those real estate conversations daily. But you can spread those conversations out across many lead sources. You might be having a conversation by putting on your logo wear or your name tag and going out wherever there's a crowd. And your goal may be, okay, next couple hours, I'm going out and I'm going to make 3 contacts, or I'm going to make 5 contacts or 10 or whatever you want to do. And you're going to go out and you're going to talk to people, meet people, and you're going to ask them, who are you looking, you know, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell real estate? You know, so you're going to be talking, having those conversations. It might be postcards. You might be sending out just listed or just sold postcards, and you might be calling to follow up on those, or you might be calling those Airbnb people, or you might be following up on some Facebook leads that you put out, you know, those beg barter sites. You can list things on there. You guys do know that you can look up any listing that Texas United Realty has and any listing that United Real Estate has. You can access those listings and you can share them. The just listed, just sold. You don't have to have your own because the broker has a plethora. Okay, and you can target any area or neighborhood or subdivision that you want. And you want to display the professional that you want the leads to come to. Be the professional that you want leads to come to. Wake up in the morning and say, what do the top producers in not only my area, Texas, US, you know, wherever, you know, let your mind go where it needs to go. What do the top producers do in the morning? How do they look? How do they dress? How do they carry themselves? How do they act? Where do they go? What, you know, be the professional. When you go to these networking events, or if you're members of BNI, or you go to any of the Har breakfasts, or you go to any of the chamber events are huge, guys. Chamber events are huge. The Lone Star College, you know, any of the colleges that have those big events and stuff, you know, you really have to get out in the community, any of the festivals and things like that. How do you want people to see you? You know, display what you want. You think somebody looks at you and says, that's a realtor who has their stuff together. That's a realtor, you know, what you post on social media, whatever. I mean, you can attract the leads. So there's lead generation where you're actively asking, 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 going for it, going for it, going for it, power in numbers, building, building, building. And then there's lead attraction where you're channeling, you're becoming, you're focusing, you've got all the positive vibes, you've got all the mantras, you've got all the affirmations. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Do it. I promise you will grow your business. Realtor referrals. One last thing I want to talk about before I show you the other screens. Guys, we have colleagues everywhere, not just in Texas United Realty, not just in United Real Estate. We've all worked with other agents. And if you're new and you haven't, I guarantee you there's a bunch of them out there you should be talking to. So I made a new contact, right? But it wasn't with the buyer seller, it was a realtor. So how does that help me grow my business? Well, they're in Victoria, right? I'm in Magnolia. They very possibly will have business in Magnolia. They don't want to come from Victoria to take care of, to show a house in Magnolia or to list something or help a buyer relocate here. But now they have me. Now they know me. And I'm going to make a separate database for my realtor referrals, because then I can work that just like I work my other database. Because you're going to have agents that are, you know, an hour from you, 2 hours from you, whatever. We all stay in contact with each other. Even if you're just across town, we can work together and we will be able to make referrals. So you won't lose your buyer. You won't lose your tenant. You won't lose your landlord. You won't lose your seller. You'll still make 25% of that deal, and you can still service your client because they feel like they're getting more bang for their buck. Because not only are they getting the agent that's servicing them, you cared enough about them to make sure that they were getting serviced by the agent that was closest to them, knew the area best, and could really take care of them. And then you're still following up with that other agent. So your client feels extra special and taken care of. So there's that. And that's my information down below. So if you guys ever have any questions, if you need anything with regards to farm and ranch, I did foreclosures for 5 years. I've worked with a lot of investors. I've done a lot of rental properties. I have worked with a lot of landlords and processed a lot of rental apps since 2006. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, okay, so let's go up to, there's page 1 again, in case anybody needs to screenshot that. So I hope this helped you in some way, and I hope that you guys will challenge yourself and start knocking these off. Make you a list, scratch them out. Every time you do them, just scratch them out. By doing this list, you might find what you're really good at and you don't even know it yet. You might double your business this year just by working this list of 105 things plus the little bonus things that we gave you, because you may stumble upon something that you're really good at that you didn't know you were good at.
Thank you, Anna.
All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and thank you so very much. And good luck to you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.